It is Tuesday, August 24th, 2010. I'm going to get to the news in a minute, but first I want to discuss something with you. Yesterday on Alex Jones, he was talking about standing for the truth, and it posed a question in my mind. Do I stand for the truth? My immediate reaction was, of course, I stand for the truth. But do you? Does everyone else? You know, are we going to continue to stand for the truth? I feel as though I will continue to stand for the truth, no matter what the cost. I know this is difficult for normal people to understand, considering all of the media and its propaganda, the forced medications, the fluoride and lithium and crap that's in our water, the school systems, which are horrible at best, okay? All of these things have been pushed on you to dumb us down. So this would be difficult for most people to understand. But we must not falter. We must continue to stand for the truth. A good friend of mine once told me, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And I've never forgotten this, but I think about it a lot, and he's right. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. See, it would be easy to fall or succumb to the pressures of society, to peer pressure, to money, or even power. It would be easy to fall to all of these things. But what would be difficult, what would be the hardest thing you could do, would be to stand against these things. To stand for truth, to stand for liberty, to stand for freedom. You know, these are the things that we must stand for. Stand for justice. Our founding fathers would have never let it get to this point. And had they just continued to fall for anything in England, then we would have never gotten to this point. But they stood for their freedom, and they came here, they got seated in, and they fought these tyrannical bastards off, okay? And then they created our Constitution, which gave us the power to be free continuously, as long as we paid attention, as long as we knew what was going on, we were properly informed. Now it's gotten to the point to where we have to stand for the truth. We have to continue to stand for the truth. We've been falling for lies from our federal government over and over and over again. You know, the definition of insanity is having the same action and then or repeating the same action and then expecting different results. Well, we've repeated this action of voting in one side of the paradigm or the other side of the left-right paradigm over and over and over and over again. And we're getting the same results. So we're losing it here. We have to do something about this. Now is the time for you to stand up and choose sides. Do you want to be with freedom and liberty, our Constitution, and humanity? You know, all of humanity? Or do you want to be with the globalists who wish to eventually enslave all of us? Whether not through economic means, but actual physical enslavement. Mental enslavement, where we could actually be free to walk around everywhere we want, but we could only think what they wanted us to. You see? That's not freedom. The time has come for us to be free and stand up for it. We have to choose sides. The information is out there for all of us to find and see for ourselves about exactly what is going on in our world and how much we're being lied to. Now, are you guys going to get out there and look for it? Or are you going to choose to stand up for the truth? Or are you going to continue to be enslaved? And now to the news. Senate Bill S-510 makes it illegal to grow, share, trade, or sell homegrown food. What's next? Now you can't eat your own homegrown food? Something I thought was funny. City receives citation for not fluoridating water. The city of Watsonville, California, the Department of Health has issued a citation for the failure to comply with the order by the state to fluoride the water supply. The citation was received by the city Thursday and demands written assurance from the city by August 29th that it will comply and plan to schedule for fluoridation submitted by September 19th. They just won't give up on this fluoride stuff, will they? Something else that's really good out of the Telegraph: 5 out of 6 new prescription drugs don't work, doctors say. 5 out of 6 prescription drugs offer few, if any, new benefits to patients, according to leading critic of the pharmaceutical industry, which happens to be a doctor. I mean, that's to be expected, considering the pharmaceutical companies make more money than anybody else on earth. There's no business in keeping you healthy. Something I thought that was really horrible: thousands of dead fish surfaced at the mouth of the Mississippi River. The fish were found Sunday floating in the surface of the water and collected in booms that had been deployed to contain oil that leaked from the BP oil spill to the Gulf of Mexico. One of the guys there stated that there was 5,000 to 15,000 dead fish just scattered all over the place right there in the booms. I mean, that's horrible. Iran seeks missile system to defend its nuclear sites. So now they're in a hunt for the missile system as a way of deterring any of our American or our Israeli planes trying to take out these nuclear sites. Which, listen, if they want free energy, they need to have the right to have free energy. That's why they're not in the Non-Proliferation Act. They're supposed to be able to have free energy, especially, you know, if they've got the reactors to do it and the ability to make it happen. It's not our right to stop them from having free energy. Now, if we're really worried about nuclear weapons, we should wait till it gets to that point and then do something about it, not 2 to 5 years before they're even at that point. Kurt Nimmo article out of INFOWAR yesterday. We got one that can see. Former Obamanoid reveals truth on Fox News. Apparently a woman got on Fox News, and I saw the clip. She got on Fox News and was debating Obama with the people on the other side of the spectrum, and straight up quoted the Obama deception on how Obama and Bush are part of the same, they're under control of the same globalist elitist bankers that sit at the top of the pyramid, at the top of the power structure. She literally quoted the entire 30 seconds of the movie, and put it all out over Fox News for everybody to see, which, you know, the anchor at Fox News had to respond with, well, that's interesting, and then go on about her day, because she can't continue to speculate on that. She'll lose her job. Iran launches assault boats, warns do not play with fire. Iran began mass-producing 2 high-speed variants of the missile-launched assault boats on Monday, warning its enemies do not play with fire as it boosts security along its coastline. Well, of course they're going to boost their security. They think that we're going to nuclear war with these people, and it's not like they're going to respond back with nuclear wars. If we go to war and drop a nuke on these people, it's going to be China, you know, or North Korea that decides to start blasting off missiles. It's not going to be Iran, because they don't have them. Israel Knesset member declares we are preparing for war. An interview with Lud Knesset member Danny Donan, speaking with WND senior reporter Aaron Klein, who hosts an investigation program on New York's 770 AM radio. The Israeli said that Israel is preparing for a time of war. We are ready for all scenarios, and we are able to defend our civilian population. I cannot tell you how long we can wait more, but we prefer to wait and see if the international bodies are acting, or whether it will be only the burden of Israel, like it was in the early 80s whenever the great leader began the great decision to bomb the nuclear reactor in Iraq. He concluded, we don't want this to be a war of Jews against Muslims. It should be a war of Western civilization against Iran. I don't know really how the Israelis fit into Western civilization. I wonder if he's stating openly that he plans on starting a war that we're going to have to finish. That's probably what's going to happen, by the way. Iran, oh, yep, I got to that one right here. Mass assassinations lie at the heart of America's military strategy in the Muslim world. So apparently, you know, there's assassinations are one of the biggest points that they hit. You know, instead of dropping bombs on children like they're doing in Pakistan, or instead of murdering any guy with a gun, they're just assassinating people. Which, you know, I mean, if they're assassinating the right people, then I guess it's a good thing, but who are the right people? Are the terrorists that live in caves and have turbans, are they the right people? Or is it the bankers at the top of the power structure? I wonder. Greatly expanded U.S. military special ops team, U.S. drone strikes, and private espionage networks run by former CIA assassins create a threat to our security. Wow. They're creating a threat to our security by assassinating people that they probably shouldn't be killing. Some news that I already touched on a little bit. U.S. drone strike kills 20 people in Pakistan. Missiles fired from a U.S. pilotless drone aircraft killed 13 militants and 7 civilians in Pakistan's North Waziristan on Monday, Pakistani intelligence officials say. Apparently, some of the members were Afghan Taliban, 4 were women, and 3 were children. So the 7 civilians were just women and children. For all we know, that the men that were there, not all of them were part of the Taliban, for all we know. You know, you've got 13 other people that were militants, they say, but they were just men, as far as we know. They're not really stating that there was any men that were civilians. If there was women and children there that were civilians, why weren't the men? Interesting deal. And then the Constitution silly stuff says Illinois congressman. A Paul Joseph Watson article came out today. Democratic Congressman Phil Hare, who caused outrage earlier this year when he told constituents who asked him about the legality of the health care bill, his response was, I don't worry about the Constitution. And then I've heard the video, the guy's like, oh, bingo, it's exactly what we were looking for, because basically the guy doesn't worry about Constitution. Has sparked fresh consideration after he was caught on camera in Illinois' hotel labeling the founding documents of America silly stuff. So how do we get to this point? How do we get to the point to where we're allowing unmanned drones piloted by some pimple-faced kid, you know, over in Las Vegas, to drop bombs on children in another country, okay? And we've got congressmen that decide that our Constitution and our founding documents are silly stuff, okay? And that he doesn't worry about the Constitution. Where did we fuck up, you know? Is it really the government's fault that they've been able to get away with this tyranny for so many years and to get away with these wars for so many years, or is it our fault? You know, I posed this question. It's not only our right, but our duty to overthrow a non-constitutional, tyrannical government. It's our duty. So, it's time. It's time for us to stand up. We got to stand for the truth, or we can fall for the same old lies, everybody. A quote, Edmund Burke here, pretty good little quote here. The only thing necessary for evil to flourish is for good men to do nothing. We need to do something.